Hi, greetings all. This is the Dream Wave for December. I'm going to do something a little different this week. I'm going to give you a little summary, and then I'll go further into the details. But I'm going to start this week by showing everyone how the sun goes through each particular gate of for this month, Sagittarius. And right now it's Tuesday, November 28th. So we're still in the kind of eight to 10 day space of the new moon in Gemini that occurred Sunday morning, I think it is, at least here in the Pacific. And this is the human design mandala. You could see all the astrological signs as they overlay with all the gates of the I Ching. So you can see all those numbers there. And these are the configurations of the lines for the I Ching, which is going to be an open line or a closed line. These are all the possible variations. And you could see, for example, now that we are in Sagittarius, that we are right about, we're coming out of Scorpio. And this week we're starting into, so the full moon was in a Gemini gate. So it was going to be opposite where our sun is. So that means that the full moon will be in gate 20. So that's down here in Gemini. You guys can see that. And then on the body graph, that's right here. And this particular graph I did for December 1st. So this will actually come into effect in a couple days. But right now we have operating the full 2034, which is a super powerful pure manifesting generator channel of the energy of now and power into the 20, which is in the now. So power and in the now. This is kind of that selfish manifesting generator channel of survival. No matter what, an accident, an MG will survive and they'll put themselves first. This is a like incredibly powerful survival channel. And I go down a little. So where we're going to start, where we're at right now, where the sun is and where it's going to be soon. As of today, actually, the sun went into gate 9, the gate of focus. So that's right here. And you could see it's lit up. And you could see all these particular gates. The mandala wheel for these gates is lit up because I activated it on the graph here. So we can see gate 9 is down here, down below. These are the 3 vortex channels. As you can see, we have 3 gates activated there. One of the nodes is in 42. That's a north node in Aries. We'll be going, the north node in Aries will be for another year and a half. And the south node will be in Libra. And then gate 60 is where Pluto is right now. It'll start really moving forward in Aquarius next year, which is only a month away. And this is where the sun is going to be, well, as of today, this is where the sun just moved in. And it was in gate 34. So it was right here. And it being in gate 9, it's about focus. And then from gate 9, we're going to move, and you guys could see now. So the sun will go in this direction here from the 9 to the 5 to the 26 to the 11 to the 10 and to the 58. And then we'll begin January. And these gates here, I'll just do a quick little summary. 34 is the gate of power. So there's a lot of powerful life force energy. Every type can utilize that actually this week. And because even though there'll be no gate here in a couple of days, it's still, the sacral is still activated, and it's activated to the G center. And I didn't color these. I thought I'd colored them in, but in this particular graph right now where all the transits are, these two centers are colored in. So this is the sacral and the G center. And the G center rules the magnetic monopole. It magnetizes what we bring, what we meet in our lives. We bring people and events into us like they are magnetically attracted. And the sacral is life force energy. All generators have this defined. The other types get to play with that energy, but not overuse it, overdo it. So this I wanted to show everyone so they understand every month, just as the sun goes through Sagittarius and then Capricorn the following month and then Aquarius. Through the lens of human design, we have the overlay of the gates. And so all these gates here last about, the sun will be in each gate usually about, see, I have it here as about 4 to 5 days, I'd say. Gate 9, the sun will be here till December 4th. And yeah, each gate about 4 or 5 days. And then I'll go over the new moon of the month, which will be in gate 26. And that'll be on December 12th, which will be a turning point for the energy. And at the end, near the end of the month, just as we've been experiencing, as we usually experience all our full moons at the latter part of the month from time to time, the full moon will enter gate 52, and that'll be opposite gate 10. So that'll be down here. Full moons are always going to be opposite the sun because the moon needs to create an opposition to the sun in order for it to be a full moon. A new moon will be the sun and moon in the same gate. And so you can see it down here. And on the body graph, that will be activating the gate of stillness right down here. So I'll go through the meaning of the gate of focus, and then I'll add to it the gate of stillness, since that's where the full moon's going to be at the end of the month. And let me go to the other chart. So that was the little summary of the month. I'll just add, before I go through it in more detail, that December, we just entered a couple of days ago. We just entered the shadow of Mercury retrograde. So we'll be in the shadow and in retrograde, Mercury through Sag and Capricorn. So Mercury will be moving around these areas as well. And what will be is it's really a time to start hibernating, and whatever you needed to get done but you could not get done in November, it might be best to leave it aside and revisit things that you haven't completed correctly. And just observe how the past comes back to you. Always on retrograde, the past returns. Whatever wasn't completed correctly, whatever wasn't dealt with, it's the return of the repressed, as the old psychologists used to like to say. So it's this should be a month of reflection and rest. There was so much energy that we experienced with the war beginning on October 8th. I think it was the weekend of October 8th and 7th, as we had that, I think it was the Mars-Uranus opposition. Not to mention the wars that were ignited within us. Plus Mars going into Scorpio created a lot of very disturbing behavior from how would I put it? People who pose as human in human bodies. A lot of dark, intense, nasty energy I observed over this Mars and Scorpio. It's very interesting. I'm not saying anything about people who have that or Scorpios, just that Scorpio embodies Plutonic energy, so it's the underworld. And those of us with strong Scorpio Pluto placements, we visit there to phoenix ourselves. We visit there to destroy parts of ourselves that are not us, and to resurrect our true self into beingness. But the theme that carries with it is that there are other energies that dwell in those areas, and sometimes they can embody Scorpio energy and Pluto energy. Pluto, after all, is about destruction, but it's also the possibility of phoenixing oneself, which is to resurrect oneself, or true aspects of oneself. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer to the usual page. I'll come back to this. Let me know if this was helpful. And here we go. So the little write-up, well, the title that I worked on this month is Mercurial Spaces of the Past, Returns for a Time. This is already mentioned with the retrograde, us walking into its shadow just a couple of days ago. And this is a little write-up I did. We love our war because without our conflict, there is nothing solved, nothing achieved, and nothing gained. These exercises, to some degree, feed our cravings. Peace, which is a differentiation and almost an opposite, is the absence of accomplishment. It is the embracement of the type of beingness. In all beingness, we must move and not move, and be the observer of the moving mind, knowing it is not us, but an occasional speaking through, or researching, or expressing with. The reminder there, as I did last month, is that with such strong placements in Sag being Scorpio being an introverted force, there was so much going on within us in October, so many of these wars beginning or reigniting within us. Sagittarius energies of pulling out is the bow being released and the arrow being launched into the world. So whatever we held back during this time of Scorpio, it's important we let it out, or we feel it out, or whatever it was we had to hold within us. And this seems to be a continual theme for October and November energies, like a holding on to, a repressing. But with Sag, there's no longer a repression at all. There's just a pure expression and beingness. And the usual introduction, the planets are the dream symbols of the dream, the language we are born into, so as to play with what we do not yet understand. The chart is the area wherein we project out and play our stories in this creatrix. The purpose of life is to play out what we do not yet understand. Life is a play and exercise of free fate. Astrology and human design are the interface, the code we use to describe, play in, and replay, and direct our experiences back into our lives and ourselves. So as I already noted in the mini introduction, this month we have the sun as it moves through Sagittarius and Capricorn gates throughout this month. Remember that the gates, just like the planets, are spaces within you that you can visit and you can sit with and you can experience the energy of. Now, what I didn't show, which I'll do at the end, is I'll one more time go over where the gates are going to be in the body graph. But you can visualize most of the gates of Sagittarius are going to be in the lower region of the body graph. So they're going to be some around the sacral. And as I'm looking at the gates, yeah, around the sacral, around the spleen, or the emotion, the solar plexus center. And so starting with what we had the last couple of days, in which, I don't know how I just did that. There we are. So we're still experiencing the full moon, even though the moon might soon be out of this gate. We're still experiencing the intensity of it. And it is Gemini 4 degrees is where this full moon hit. So if you have the markers of your astrology chart, the cusp of each house, you can see where this full moon occurred. And this isn't to act when the time is right or fearfully jump the gun out of impatience. So this MG channel, which has the 20 to the 34, is about being present in the body. But it's such an intense energy, there's no patience. There's just powerful need to manifest in the moment. There's no reflection. MGs who have this channel as their authority, it's whatever they do in the moment, whatever their first action is, it's what's correct for them. But as a manifesting generator, after a decision is made, it can always kind of shift gears. That's the kind of power an MG has. Whereas a generator, once it commits to something, it's committed fully. An MG has a moment of truth where it can still redirect itself, take a left or right out of this situation that it's seemingly agreed to. And moving down, as I mentioned, the sun went into gate 9. This is the gate of focus. I know how to see and focus on the entire vision and focus on the dots that create it as well. Or I get lost down lapis holes or overlook details. So gate 9 is about being able to focus, finding the right environment, finding the right thing to focus on, and not overlooking the details for the more grander vision, making sure that you pay attention to both the details and both the grand vision of what you're creating. Now that's November 28th. We just entered that today, and that's gonna be with us till December 14th. Then on December 4th, the sun will go into gate 5. This is about fixed patterns. I create health, my own rituals, habits, and rhythms, or I do not accept myself and I fall into extremes. So gate 5, like gate 15, is about the natural patterns of the world. Everything has its own frequency, metals, the air, well, our electromagnetic and magnetic fields that surround us, thus which we create as electrical beings, and that which surrounds us, and also the monstrous levels of radio waves and other type of waves that are also affecting us, attempting to basically redirect themselves through our own particular fields. I'm not going to get into that. But gate 5 is about being able to match the frequency of the Earth's harmony. It's about being able to be out in nature and resonate with the trees and with the animals and with the natural surroundings, not just with the cloud and the frequencies that your dumb phone is emitting, but rather the larger context of nature itself, which is the true technology. And so with the sun, when the sun arrives in gate 5 from December 4th to December 9th, see how you can observe how you fall into your own patterns of working with time in a natural, fluid way, or if you find yourself falling into disruptions and disruptive on and off rhythms. It can be hard to find a rhythm during gate 5 unless you're doing something grounding every day or whenever you need to, that kind of brings you back to center. Gate 5 being a part of the channel of, with gate 15, the channel of rhythms. And so it'll be fun to observe that. That'll be next week. And then the week after, the sun will go into gate 26. Sacred, share your talents for their value, or my pride for what you have. So this is a gate in this is a gate in the ego center. That's the little red triangle on the right hand side, right below the G center. And so this gate is about being able to, this is about the exchange of value. So this is about being able to communicate with the world and share what you have, especially in balanced exchanges of value. And so because it's an ego gate, pride could be an issue, usually around such times. And this is December 9th to the 15th. So just make sure you're sharing your equal value. And I don't mean to use the word equal. There's really no purpose for that word. Share what is of similar value and exchange to another. And enjoy that. Now on December 12th, there's going to be a transition to the new moon. This will also be in gate 26. So we'll have the new moon during this time, both the moon and sun in gate 26. And so I nuanced the definition a little, new ways to value yourself in your truest forms and nurturing it, or you overdo the energy and under nurture yourself and lose balance in exchanges with others. So this is all about healthy exchange with others. So try not to overdo. Sagittarius energy can be very fiery. And so we are, as we gradually approach winter, it's a time where we need more rest. And with the gates going through Sag still, we are still kind of releasing the arrows that have been unlaunched during the November month of Scorpio. So there's still time for you to release what you need to. Now, on December 15th, the sun will go into gate 11, is the gate of peace and ideas, using the imagination. The ideas that are yours, develop them by sharing them with people that are correct, or run your mouth with endless thoughts and ideas, all for naught. So the gate of 11 in the human design body graph is off the Ajna center, so it's up high below the mind, the mental center. But it's also part of the mind. And this particular gate is about having ideas. Now, some ideas will be of value and some will just be ideas kind of pouring through your consciousness. And so be selective in which ideas are correct for you to follow through with and to express. And you're always looking for the other side, which is the ability to put those ideas into practical manifestation. Gate 56. Now, on December 20th, this is around when Mercury will go direct. It'll be out of the shadow, and it'll be completely retrograde. And so it's going to be a holiday time this year where everyone's going in different directions. It'll be hard to come together as a family of friends or of literal family or of groups. It'll be hard to come together. Everyone's going to want to travel here or travel there. So don't try to force anything or force events too much. This is a time where there'll be a lot of travel, hopefully people coming back before the retrograde. And if not, so what? Enjoy your travels anyway. And so this is gate 10. This is the gate of behavior, self-love, empowerment. I'm surrounded within and without by love, both my own and others for me, or I deny the legitimacy of my own selfhood. So gate 10 is about self-worth and self-value. Usually the theme is, if others love me, I can love myself. It's a very difficult gate to accept love of oneself, but that is the direction, that is the instruction for this gate, is to learn how to do that. People's behavior could be off during the time that the sun is in this gate, something to observe. These are very prescriptive types of behaviors as the sun goes through gate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, after that, this will be around December 26th. There'll be a full moon in gate 52. This will be in Cancer 4 degrees. So you can look this month to see what house in astrology, in your astrology chart, what house you have Cancer 4 degrees. If you're more into human design, you could look at gate 52 and see if you have gate 9, which I do, which is great because that'll give me the ability to stay focused, stay still, and kind of keep a solid focus. This is what will happen with me as I have gate 9, so I have the ability to focus, but it's difficult for me to stay still. So whenever the sun or moon or any planets are in gate 52, I love to make sure that I can concentrate on something and complete something. Now, this one is about from a place of perception and perspective. I see what to focus on so that I may later act and collaborate in ways that further my mission. Or I could choose to burn out and get overtaken by the larger picture that I will be arriving at. So similar to the 9, there's a potential to overwork oneself and to forget to take breaks and time to oneself. And so that will be important during this particular full moon in Cancer. And so make sure that you're enjoying, I would say, enjoying being at home, because this is a Cancer gate, and this is a time usually where people have time off, so enjoying time at home would really be nice. Now, the sun, after the 25th, on the 26th, about the same time, will go into gate 58. Gate 58 is the gate of joy, vitality, contentment. I feel joyful for all I have in life and what I continue to create, or I feel guilty and deny myself the joy that my spirit yearns for. So this is a gate, the 58 is a very excitable gate. It's also a very perfecting kind of perceptual perspective. But this particular gate can really have joy and really have gratitude for that which surrounds us. And so it's an important time to connect with others and not be so judgmental on yourself or others. Now, Mercury retrograde, I made a mistake earlier. I was thinking it was entering retrograde a little later in the month, but it's actually December 12th. And so this will be December 12th to January 1st. These times of the year open up the past. Past people, matters, situations will be revisited. December 26th, Mercury will square misty Neptune. This will underscore challenges, complicating details, and causing delays. Electronic issues also come to the fore. Mercury will station direct New Year's Day. That's really nice. It's a good time to celebrate, be out, enjoy oneself. And just a reminder, you could check your chart to see what house you have, Sagittarius and Capricorn, as that will be the active energies for this month, especially with Mercury retrograding in those signs. Of note is on December 28th, Venus will sextile Scorpio. And so that will add to that will nuance the strange energies of the full moon at the end of the month, as the full moons are always very unpredictable, in the sense that it's the energy coming to its full zenith and releasing. So emotions are always felt more strongly during such times. I'm sure those who work with children and who work with people that struggle with their own kind of balance will notice during those times that people are very active. It's almost as if it's like Gurdjieff said. Gurdjieff talked about the mystic, how the moon seems to pull our emotional energy out of us, almost as if to harvest or feed off our emotional energy that we release during the time of a full moon. It's very interesting to observe. I can almost like feel it pulling these energies out of us. We feel we need to get something out, we need to express. But Gurdjieff talked about this and supposedly wrote it in his big book, Tales. I think it's Tales from Beazelda. Or anyway, it's very difficult to understand that book and his meanings, but it's surmised that he was talking about the moon absorbing our emotional energies. Now, Mars is still in Scorpio gates until around the end of the month. Venus will be in Libra until around the end of the month, and then it will enter into Scorpio. Jupiter still in Taurus gates. Saturn is in Pisces 1 degree, and so it's in those gates. Uranus continues in Taurus. Both Jupiter and Uranus being in Taurus are about the earth, about us. Taurus rules the earth, and so it's changes in the earth. Like sometimes it could be like what we've been experiencing off and on these last couple of years with a lot of volcanoes, eruptions, and earthquakes. And Neptune continues in Pisces in gate 36. I'll show you guys that in a second. And Pluto continues to move forward in gate 60 towards Aquarius. Now, every month I do the Pluto moon days because these tend to be the heavily emotionally expressive days. So in need of gentle expression and release. And just a reminder to everyone, no matter the intensity you feel inside of you in response to someone or in reflection of matters that are challenging in life, it is always important to find a way to release those energies, but sometimes not in the moment, because that's not correct. Because it could not be safe. Because when you react to your environment or you react to others, you're matching their energy. You're almost giving them control of your frequency. And so it is wise to not match emotional energy, especially when people are wanting you to react and trying to poke you so that you react. And the best way to handle that usually is to just observe and make your decisions on whether that's a correct person to really be in your life or not. And so those of you who are able to observe and stay strong in your frequency, I salute you. That's one of the great challenges of being in a human body. You know, the dates where Pluto contacts the moon, December 8th, December 14th, December 21st, and December 27th. So it will be an intense full moon this month. There are a lot of markers for different energies fluctuating around. And it'll be towards the end of the Cancer moon that it will be opposing Pluto and Capricorn. And so these are the dates. The new moon on the 12th, full moon on the 26th. I'm going to show the graph one more time so that you guys can see the movement of the sun, chart the movement of the sun through the body graph. So as I noted before, it's going to start where are we at? We're on November 28th right now. So we're looking at $8:34. So the sun just left gate 34 and it's entering gate 9. And then it will go into gate 5. Then it will move into gate 26, 11, and 10. As noted on the body graph, I'm sure you could see by the numbers, starting here in gate 9, then it's going to move to the 5th gate right up here over the sacral. Then it's going to go to gate 26, which is connected to the ego center. Then it's going to go gate 11 up here below the Ajna center. And then it's going to go to gate 10, which comes out of the G center. It's the gate of behavior. And then I think we'll still be in Capricorn, we'll still be in December. It will go into gate 58, which is down here, coming out of the root center. Just looking to see if there's anything else I can share. Take this moment to yourself to take in all this energy. Feel free to rewatch it. I did go over the sun throughout the gates so that everyone can see where the other planets are. I can point out for those interested. Currently, Neptune is right here in gate 36. It's been here for a long time. It'll be here for a while longer, probably another year or two before it goes into Aries. But we can tell, we can look over here actually and see that, yeah, it's at the end of Pisces. So as it moves into Aries, it'll move into gate 25. But right now it's coloring our joyful experiences with others. This is a social channel right here. It's a collective channel. And Pluto's here in gate 60. It'll be here for a long time. And it's in Capricorn, so we could see it right there, right about to enter Aquarius. Once it does next year, it'll start moving into the 41, which is off the root center right here. The gate of imagination. That'll be interesting. And let's see what else I can note. I'll leave it at that for this night. The best to you all this month. Hoping everyone can get the rest that they need. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching.